Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
You know, more and more, I think that I will never be surprised or shocked by things that I hear, but I guess I am. I'm going to tell you something that may be shocking and maybe is not. Nevertheless, Roker's entertainment companies, Roker Entertainment and Weather Hunters Inc. is being sued by a white man by the name of Bill Schultz, who is also a producer and has worked at those companies since 2014 because he was fired for bringing up Roker's companies not adhering to the DEI practices that were set forth by PBS Studios. Now, DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. It has been a hot ticket item that's been discussed for many months now. And so basically, it's a program like affirmative action that says that Black people and people of color need to be hired or treated a little bit differently, because we don't normally have a fair shot in different corporations and schools and just a whole host of other things, right? Again, that was PBS's policy. So Bill Schultz is saying Al Roker was not following that because they were working on a script called Weather Hunters, which featured a Black family. It's animated, and that particular animated series is supposed to cater to Black people. So Bill, being a white man, says, well, why do we only have white writers? Why don't you bring in Black writers? And, there's this DEI policy that needs to be followed. And he said he was told, well, we don't have time for that. But instead, they did acquiesce and say, okay, well, we're going to bring in Black writers to touch up what the white writers did. Again, white writers writing about a Black family. It's like, how do you know about Black families if you're white? But I digress. So now again, he is suing Al Roker's company for $10 million, and he says that he wants to have a jury trial, again, citing breach of contract, and it's just not right. But Al Roker's entertainment company is saying, well, Bill was fired for performance issues. Now, I don't know what the truth is, but if it does go to a jury trial, there will be a thing called discovery where they'll be able to get a whole lot of information. And so if that man is telling the truth, the world, or the United States, I guess, is going to learn whether or not Al Roker's company thought it was a good idea to hire white writers to talk about Black people. But again, we know that's not new. We've seen that a lot, especially recently with the Good Times cartoon on Netflix, where it was a white writer, Seth MacFarlane, who was in charge of, making sure that goes forward. Then you had Steph Curry, who was a producer, and some other Black people to talk about Black life in America, if you will. But it sounds like that cartoon didn't do very well because Black Americans, we wasn't cutting for it. Like, nah, don't do us like that, right? So again, if that is true about what Al Roker's company did, then we're going to do the same thing with that particular animated series, Weather Hunters, because we want to see something that was written by Black Americans about Black Americans, not from white people. They're only going to cosplay and make up stuff, and more than likely it's going to be stereotypical. They're going to draw from things that they have seen that they think, how Black people act. And so we're going to find out, Al Roker, if you've been riding dirty in these animated streets by not hiring Black people. But my thing is, ain't it a shame that a white man had to let them know, hey, y'all, should be some Black people talking about Black people. Then some people might say, well, he has an underlying motive. Well, he might. We're going to find out, I guess, if it goes to trial. But nevertheless, he's let people know that Al Roker, who was a Black man who has a Black animated series, doesn't see Black people good enough to write about their own experiences. He only wants to hire white people. And in fact, it is said in the suit, that's exactly what was said. We need, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, white people because they're more experienced. Black people may not be as much. That's what it said. So, Al, you got some explaining to do. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of this. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube.